I started working in sustainability as I started teaching a new course on sustainable computing at my home university in Ghent in Belgium. And that's really what prompted me to start researching in this area. And there's quite a bit of work been done in terms of energy efficient computing, power efficient computing, but looking at the full picture and looking at the total environmental impact of computing is not something that has been broadly done. And that's why I started doing research in this area. Sustainability is a really important topic for our community because about 2 to 4% of total GHG greenhouse gas emissions are due to ICT, and it's growing at a fairly rapid pace. Some projections say that in a couple of years' time, it may increase by 7 to 20% of the total GHG emissions. So we as a society, as a community, we really need to act and do our part trying to reduce the total carbon emissions. The most surprising thing I found, I guess, is the multi-perspective view on sustainability that is needed to actually completely understand the problem. And it's much more complicated than I had initially envisioned. It's, like I said, it's not just about energy efficient computing. You also need to take a look at the whole life cycle, look at the materials that are needed. There's lots of chemicals and gases emitted in the process. There is e-waste towards the end of the life cycle. And so if we really want to make an impact, I also think we need to rethink business models and probably legislation as well to incentivize more circular economy where we close the loop in terms of the materials that we use for sustainable computing. Yeah, I think that this has fairly big impact on the computing industry. Today we have more like a linear economy where we are extracting the materials, we're producing the devices, we sell the devices, we use them for a couple of years and then we throw them away. Of course, it's in the industry's best interest to sell as many devices as possible. If we go towards a more circular economy, then the business models will have to change. We as computer engineers, we can help to make individual devices more carbon efficient, but to actually make a real difference in the real world, I think we also need to come up with new business models to support the companies. They also need to thrive, right? Even if the services are more sustainable. Yeah, teaching and researching this area is quite interesting and very different from what we're typically doing as engineers. And I really like to teach on this topic. You can talk about the technical issues. At the same time, you can broaden up the perspective, and you actually have to broaden up the perspective to also take into account societal effects, environmental effects, and so forth. And during class, we typically have open discussions about many of these themes, and then students come in and we have interesting discussions about all different aspects related to sustainability.